mucosa. Deep to the mucosa there is connective tissue here in the lamina propria, and then deep to the lamina propria is layer of the skeletal muscle. So there is no submucosa and no muscularis mucosa present in the slidopharynx. Normally in the gastrointestinal tract, when you study, what are the different layers you study? What are the different layers in histology when you study the slide of GIT? From the luminal aspect to the peripheral aspect, when you see the histological structure of any tubular organ of GIT. You go from the lumen to the periphery. What are the different layers? You have the mucosa, right? Deep to the mucosa, what do you have? The next layer is the submucosa. Then you have a layer of muscle. What is that muscle layer known as? Muscularis externa. And then the outer covering. What is the name of the outer covering? It is adventitia or the serosa. What's the difference between adventitia and serosa? Serosa is the region where there is a lining of peritoneum. If there is no peritoneum covering that area, that is referred to as adventitia. Okay? So we go from the luminal aspect to the exterior. So here you can see this is the region of the mucosa. What are the three constituents of the mucosa? Epithelium, then you have the lamina propria and the muscularis mucosa. These three things comprise the mucosa. Okay? So here you can see this is the first part of the mucosa, that is the epithelial lining, and here you can see this is in the region of the oropharynx. So it is lined by stratified squamous non-keratinized variety of epithelial lining. Okay? So under hyper you can see the different layers of the stratified squamous non-keratinized variety of epithelium. Especially you can see a very distinct stratum granulosum here. And okay, so these are the different layers of stratified squamous non-keratinized variety of epithelial lining. You can see the stratum granulosum. You can see the granules are very distinctly seen here in the stratum granulosum. Then deep to that there is a layer of connective tissue here, which is the lamina propria. So deep to the epithelium we have the lamina propria, which is made up of loose connective tissue fibers. So this is the lamina propria. Sometimes in the lamina propria here you can see lot of mucous glands in the pharynx. You can see these are the mucosal glands. And let's see under hyper, these are the mucus variety of glands. So how does the mucus acinus appear like? Look at this. The cytoplasm appears clear and the nuclei are basally placed. Okay. So these are the mucus glands which are occupying the region of the lamina propria. Now, deep to the lamina propria, that's a layer of the skeletal muscle which is lining the wall of the oropharynx. Okay, so these are the skeletal muscle fibers. Now, sometimes when these glands are present here, they disrupt the muscle fibers, and some of the muscle fibers they come here just above the glands and they appear to be the muscle fibers of the muscularis mucosa. They look like muscularis mucosa, but actually these are not the fibers of the muscularis mucosa, because the muscularis mucosa is composed of what type of muscle fibers? Skeletal or smooth? Smooth muscle fibers. But these are the skeletal muscle fibers which are the muscles forming the wall of the pharynx. So these are not the, this is not the muscularis mucosa, but the skeletal muscle fibers which are disrupted by these glands which invade the lamina propria. Let's see under high part. You'll see these are all skeletal muscle fibers, not the smooth muscle fibers. So you can see where are the nuclei placed here. These are the multinucleated peripherally placed nuclei, and then you can also see striations in the muscle fibers. So these are all the skeletal muscle fibers. These are not the smooth muscle fibers. So don't confuse this layer to be the muscularis mucosa. In fact, because of the presence of glands, this layer of the skeletal muscle fiber which was present in the pharyngeal wall, these fibers got disrupted and displaced, okay, which lie above the glands, appearing to be the muscularis mucosa. So the epithelium, the lamina propria, and deep to the lamina propria there will be a very distinct fibroelastic layer which is made up of the pharyngo-basilar fascia. This is it. There will be a distinct fibroelastic lamina here which is demarcating the lamina propria from the layer of the skeletal muscle fibers. So here you can see this is the epithelium, the lamina propria, and then there will be a distinct layer of connective tissue which will be the layer of the pharyngo-basilar fascia here. Okay, and deep to the fascia, these are the skeletal muscle fibers of the wall of the pharynx, and deep to the skeletal muscle fibers will be the adventitia which merges with the surrounding structures. And in the adventitia we will see lot of blood vessels, nerve fibers, and this adventitia is made up of dense irregular type of connective tissue fibers. Here you can see that's a venule. Okay, so a lot of blood vessels will be seen in the adventitia. Looks like an arteriole. That's an arteriole. The smooth muscle fibers you can see in the wall. Yeah. This is the arteriole. You can see this is the tunica media. This is the tunica adventitia, tunica media, and this is the intima. There is a small venule there in the outer adventitia. So adventitia, this is the skeletal muscle lining, and then you have the fibroelastic lamina of the pharyngo-basilar fascia, the lamina propria, and the epithelium of the oropharynx. Okay, what is which layer is absent in the pharynx? We didn't see any submucosa and no muscularis mucosa. Please don't confuse these muscle fibers to be the fibers of muscularis mucosa. These are the skeletal muscle fibers which got disrupted because of these glands. Okay.